Hello everyone and welcome to the round 20 roundup stream. Sorry, just got a bit stuck there with my looking at my OBS screen. Hopefully you all had a good round. So unfortunately again I have to read the chat from my phone, hence why I'm going to be looking down, just still stuck on the one screen setup. Let me quickly actually double check that I've got the audio. Yep, the audio's in there. Alright, hopefully we're all good to go. Thanks everyone for tuning in. So I can see there's about 50 people in the chat already, which is awesome to see. So hello Jake Mansky, 366 you're ranked, congrats, that's really good. 1057 with captain on Cleary. Yeah, it's unluckily anyone who captain Cleary is just really bad luck there, you know, sending off. You can't predict that kind of thing. Like I was keen on captaining Cleary earlier in the week. I eventually decided, I think, straight captain Teddy, and he did well, obviously with 72, and I thought 72, I was like, yeah, okay, we'll take it. Hopefully Cleary and Munster don't burn me too bad, and obviously that worked out well in the end. So yeah, I'm on 1,164 at the moment, which I'm pretty happy with. I took an average of the Podmasters Cup, and the average in that group was about 1,130. Which makes me think above 1100 you're probably done okay this week. 1150 or above, probably good. 1200 above, I think you're in for a really good week. I actually saw a couple of people hit like 1300 plus, which would be really good. So yeah, initial thoughts, 1164. I was ranked about 2300-ish coming into this week. It'd be nice if I can get inside top 2000, but I don't think I've got as big enough of a score to go that much. But yeah, hopefully should still be seeing some green arrows there. No poem as well at the moment. It felt like it was a bit rough to do a poem this week when you had the likes of Cleary go so low. Although Drinkwater did redeem himself, thankfully. I'm glad that I recommended to hold him because yeah, he came out trumps today. So I'm seeing Nathan saying woof woof bark bark. Mate, the Bulldogs train keeps on rolling. Another good win for them over the Knights. 1,196 from Mark Lawless. Yeah, I think that's a good score. I think that's pretty decent. Paycheck unfortunately had captain Cleary as well, 1061, just really rough, anyone who captain Cleary. And I watched that in real time and I was just like, A, because of captain Cleary, if anyone who captained him, it was huge. And then also B, it was Dylan Brown who got tackled, who I owned and played in that game. And I was like, oh my God, please don't be hurt. And yeah, played him eventually and he did well as well. I think he scored over 80 plus in updates. Still bags, what a man. Let's go, man. SOS, need trades ASAP. Yeah, we'll definitely get onto it. I think, I wonder how many views I'm going to get after from this or next week onwards, because eventually we're all going to run out of trades and there'll be no point looking at trade targets when we can't bring in anyone. So hold on to those trades as long as you can. I did say on Twitter, I think after that whole Cleary incident, any other trade you're planning to do this week, just kind of kill it, just save him. I'm a little bit annoyed. I did that one trade of Isaiah Tass for Nick Meaney. That's the guy who I eventually decided to go for. He looked like he's picked up an injury as well. Not sure how serious it's going to be, but there could be another trade I might have to deal with. Unluckily, the alternative was Adam Dewey who killed it. But look, I won't complain. I still had a good week, and he still ended up scoring 50 for me. And look, I didn't captain Cleary, so I feel like I don't really have any reason to be complaining this week. Moses' injury, that's another one. Moses looks to be out for the rest of the regular season with a broken finger, I believe. So that rules him out as an option. And I know a few people, I think Tim Moody, the last year's winner, he owns both Cleary, and I think he captained Cleary as well this week, and he also owned Moses, and I don't think he's got very many trades left. So that's, again, so many trades that people are going to have to burn now to get rid of these higher priced guys. And obviously I know a couple of people have reached out and said, who do we actually replace Cleary with? I think I haven't really given it too much thought at the moment. I wanted to let the rest of the weekend play out to make sure there's no other carnage, but we'll definitely discuss and spinball some ideas, I think. Just seeing some other scores here. So 1238 from Talon. I believe Talon, you're sitting pretty high up in the rankings. I think in the top 50 or top 100 from memory. Look, 1238 is really good this week. I don't think you need to worry about that. A bit dirty, you didn't stick with IPAP as captain. Yeah, look, he cracked over for a ton, so that would have been good for yourself. But look, you can't complain, I think, with 1238. I think this week that's a pretty good score. Imagine owning both Moses and Cleary. Yeah, exactly what I just mentioned there with Tim Moody. I think he's in that position. 1184 sitting 196th. Yeah, Sam, I think 1184 should see you either probably hold steady or maybe go up maybe 10 to 20 ranks. I don't think you'd see too much movement, but look, it's better than getting a red, that's for sure. James, shout out to you. Good evening. Now for Cleary moves. Yep, definitely we'll get onto those in a bit. 1095 Captain Teddy from Broads. 1229 from Charlie is really good. Tom saying 1200 ranked 580. I do think 1200 is green arrows, but I think I'm seeing quite a few decent scores actually in the chat. So I'm thinking maybe 1200. I think you'll get your green, but maybe not as big of a green. I was originally thinking coming into the stream. Nathan, 14-18 with Cleary captain. Now that's insane. I haven't seen any scores higher than 14-18. I would like to see a team, Nathan. I'm sure a few Cowboys players would have done people well at the end there with Drinkwater, Val, Tamalolo, Jeremiah Nanai again. What a superstar. Scored another double. He's been absolutely on fire. 1237 for Moz. Yep, I saw that. Congrats to you. Seems like Cody Walker is a season keeper now. Yeah, I think a few people did mention to me on Twitter that they originally were looking to trade out Cody this week, but obviously the Rabbitohs played after the Penrith game, and they just said, look, with Cleary being out, I'm going to have to hold Cody now because we're going to have to deal with a Cleary trade next week. And look, Cody did fine. 65 points I think he scored. And I believe the Rabbitohs, is it next week or the week after that they've got the Warriors? I think they've got a couple of decent games coming up in terms of SuperCoach point scoring. So yeah, they've got the Warriors next week and then Parramatta. Those are two teams I think you can score points against. So yeah, I think my initial thought was anyone who has the ability to go to a fullback, via Nico Hines, trade Cleary out for Latrell. I think the next 2 weeks, I think Parramatta is good for fullbacks. Warriors is good for fullbacks as well. Latrell's score was a little bit lower this week, but he did get moved to left centre. I can't remember the particular reason why that happened. Was there an injury to another player in their backline? I can't quite remember, but Koni Nikorima came on and played fullback, and Latrell got moved out to left centre, so it definitely did hurt him a little bit. He did get a fortuitous try as well, so I think he got a decent score, but he also took quite a few field goals and missed that, so those negative points probably didn't help any owners there either. But I do think that if you can switch to a fullback via Hines, that's probably the best way to go about dealing with your Cleary problem. It looks like I think he's out for 5 weeks. I think he got hit with a grade 3, and I think he took the early guilty plea, which was 5 weeks down from 6. So look, he's going to be a trade out, I think, for all of us. Now the thing with Cleary, I know a couple of people mentioned, I think Matthew as well on Twitter. He said, "Oh, is it actually, if you've got the depth to cover, is there actually merit in just holding Cleary?" I'll be interested to see what his price is actually after the lockout ends, because a score of 4 at his price tag of 776 when he had a break even of 120, he could actually be like 700k flat, which is obviously still a lot of money, and I would probably still look to sell just because halfback is a position where you can get some upside. The question is though, who do we get? And it's a tough one, because I think Moses would have been a good replacement, although their draw is tough, but he's out as well. So if you're looking at a straight halfback, it's pretty difficult. If you've got that flexibility of going to like a 5'8", a centre wing, or a fullback, I do think you're in a slightly better position, because 5'8", you can just go like Burton's good, Munster's good, Dillbags looks to still be good, and will probably look to be the main halfback now, or main acting half. He won't actually play at halfback, but he'll be the main playmaker, I guess I should say. Fullback, obviously, you've got a bunch of options like Teddy, Latrell that you can consider. Drinkwater came good again this week. So I'm just looking at this captain question from Shades of Red. He says, would you still do it if you had to burn 2 trades to get Latrell? You've got 5 trades left though. I think 5 trades is still okay to do 2 trades to get Latrell and leaving yourself with 3. But we are seeing that, there should be emphasis on trying to hold the trades. I'm on 3 trades now, and I know Nick Meaney looks to be injured, but I'm thinking I might just be able to hold him and cover him with my other centre wings. But yeah, Cleary, I'm going to have to probably trade him out next week. And so, yeah, that's going to be an enforced move there. Macapaka says, for anyone that remembers the Storm game, why didn't Harry Grant get the try assist? Macca, I think the reason why that didn't get given, I know which try you're talking about, and which play that was. I know the pass got deflected. So I think Grant was actually aiming for his for a short ball, and I think it got deflected out to Hughes. And so my only thinking is that Grant didn't get it because the scorers must have thought his intention wasn't to get it to Hughes. It was actually to get it to someone else, and it luckily deflected off to Hughes. But his intention wasn't to pass it to Hughes. That's the only thing I can think of why he didn't get it. I'm just going to double check the scores actually. If he didn't, I don't believe he got it. Yeah, only 57, and that did include a try. Grant is a little bit concerning, I guess, if you want to call it that. He's not really... Storm again. Look, Storm didn't look convincing. They eventually did win, but yeah, Grant, 57 with the try is not ideal. But look, I've got him. We'll run with him. Yeah, Gutherson. I've seen a few people mention Gutherson, so they're saying who'll kick goals. Yeah, it looks like Gutherson will kick goals. He's normally the second in line for goal kicking duties. Look, maybe someone you can consider. I personally wouldn't do it though, just because of the draw that they've got. And I think fullback, a position where you can get Teddy Latrell I see them ranked ahead of the Eels. And Eels have got Manly, Rabbitohs, Bulldogs, Broncos, Melbourne. None of those teams are easy on their day. And also, Mitchell Moses being out will impact them. He's been pretty good for them this season. So, yeah, I don't think Gutho would be who I'd go for, but he probably will kick goals. In terms of Penrith, I think Sean O'Sullivan will still be the goal kicker. He'll probably be the starting number 7 now for them for the rest of the regular season. I imagine he'll be the goal kicker. If not him, whenever Stephen Crichton comes back, he could probably actually be the goal kicker because he's got a pretty decent goal kick on him as well. So it'll be one of Crichton or Sean O'Sullivan in my opinion. Yeah, Cassidy's saying probs Crichton for Penrith. Yeah, I think it would be Crichton. From memory, he's normally been the second in line. Adokar bombing that try off the Burton kick ruined a couple of my head-to-head matches. Yeah, look, they had a nice link-up play for one of their, not Adokar's try, but I think he set up, was it Shot? I think he set up Aaron Shot. Bulldogs looking good, man. Bulldogs are looking good. I've seen a few really tight head-to-head. Someone mentioned that they had, I saw it earlier in the chat. They were way, way behind on their head-to-head. Their captain Cleary, and then they had Nanai, Val Holmes, Drinkwater all come in, and now he's leading his head-to-head by 2 points. So it's on a knife edge. Shout out to my own head-to-head, to the Whisperer, Ramsey Resurgence. He tweeted before the round, easy 2 points for the Ramsey Resurgence in the Podmasters Cup. And I said, okay, let's see if karma gets ya. And look, unfortunately he captained Cleary. He would have beaten me easily if he captained someone else because he had the likes of Tarp and he'd kill it. He played McInnes, who I didn't play. I benched McInnes, so him scoring 85 was a little bit painful on my bench. But look, got the win and got the dub. Don't be counting your chickens before they hatch. Is that the phrase? Or is it eggs? I don't even know. Anyway, I won my head-to-head with Whisperer. That's good. There you go. Whisperer was throwing a bit of banter about you. Whisperer was throwing a bit of banter about the easy head-to-head matchup. Who got the chocolates? You're looking at him. Got the chockies. But only because he didn't captain Cleary. I lucked out there massively. Straight swap this week. Cleary to Latrell via Hines. Yeah, that fat guy, fatty. I think I would be doing that particular switch in my opinion. 4 trades left. Look, I think everyone's going to be in low trades. I know people who've got like 2 trades, 1 trade coming into this week now, or 1 trade, after this week. Then honestly, I feel like if you're sitting on 5 or more trades, you're in a good spot. The majority of people I think around me are probably going to be on 4 or less. So 5 plus coming into this week is probably a good spot. As crazy as that sounds. So yeah, it's the age-old adage. It always seems to get us save your trades, but we never listen, do we? Let's see. Sandy's saying, you already have Hines, Teddy, Latrell, Brown, Munster. Who else can you get for halfback? Yeah, we may as well talk about halfbacks. I think I'm not going to go through all the games in particular, but we'll probably go through some halfback players. So quickly just have a look at halfback. I'll look at halfback only because I'm in the same position where I can only go for a halfback. So if we look at players with averages, or maybe let's look at 5-round average to include some more recent performers. So obviously Hines is probably the next best halfback. If you don't own Hines for whatever reason, yeah, straight swap to him, easy. But that's a pretty obvious answer. Now I don't mind Adam Reynolds. He scored pretty well this week from memory. I think he scored 69 points this week. I think he had a couple of tries, just goal kicking. A bit of a down performance from the Broncos, but look, still decent Supercoach wise for Reynolds. So yeah, we're looking at a few options here. So Sam Walker against Manly, he scored 59 points. He has a 5-round average of 75. Roosters draw though is a little bit tougher from now. If I just quickly have a look at Sam Walker. So we've got Broncos, Cowboys, Tigers, Melbourne, Souths. So there's a few tougher teams in there. So Sam Walker's probably not who I thought at first. But look, if you're someone who still owns Ezra, you could actually get really nice handy switching between the two of them. That's something you might want to consider. Cherry Evans, we shouldn't really forget about Cherry Evans. He's had 2 down weeks for sure. But don't forget, Manly also had a bunch of players missing this week. They come up against Parramatta. So Parramatta can concede points, and they Manly are playing at home. Then they've got the Titans, which is a good matchup. Sharks is tough. Raiders is a little bit tough, and Bulldogs is also tough. But yeah, we were all, like, a lot of people were very keen on Cherry Evans just not too long ago. So I don't think Cherry Evans is a bad option. I know the last 2 weeks haven't been great, but I think Cherry Evans is decent. I'm seeing Jamal Fogarty here. He's got a really good draw home. If you're looking for more of a pod, Fogarty could be someone to go for. Because if you look at the Raiders draw, Penrith next week is tough, but then you've got Dragons, Newcastle, Manly and Tigers. All teams that can concede points, although West Tigers, to be fair, playing pretty good footy the last fortnight. So Fogarty's maybe someone to consider. Probably not my favourite though. Ben Hunt, I know a few people have been looking at Ben Hunt. Not so great today. But then Raiders, Titans, Tigers and Bulldogs, not Bulldogs, and Broncos. It's not a horrible run either. Any love for Fogarty. So Fogarty for me, he's not top of my list. Like I see, yes, he's a pod, but I feel like he's not as proven Supercoach wise as some other guys. Like I would prefer someone like a Cherry Evans, maybe even a Jerome Hughes. Reynolds I know is not really proven, but he's proven it so far this year. Whereas, if you look at Fogarty, to be fair, Fogarty's got a season average of 62. That's only just behind Adam Reynolds, so I should probably give him some extra credit than I am. Yeah, Fogarty could be a nice pod to go for. Like, if you look at it there, 0.4% owned for Fogarty. Fogarty, I'm not actually sure how you pronounce it. Someone help me out about that. Yeah, Fogarty could be someone to consider. I haven't got any Raiders players, and they do have a nice run home. So that is something I should maybe think about a little bit more. Or maybe I should just buy bloody Joe Tarpany. That guy has just been absolutely killing it again. 113 points. Like, yeah, it's very sad that I don't have him there. No one looks appealing at halfback. Should you just nuff and upgrade elsewhere? Now, the only reason I wouldn't say nuff in halfback Sandy is just, again, if there's any restings, let's say Nico Hines is your starting halfback. If there's any event where Sharks, maybe they'll look like they've secured top 4, they want to keep Hines, firing for the finals. There's any chance that they can maybe just give him a rest for a week. They've got pretty good backups, I think, and they can chuck in Braden Trindle there, for example. If you've got enough, you've got no depth and no backup cover there. And for me, halfback is a spot where it has got some decent upside. I don't mind what you're saying in terms of, going a little bit cheaper, or maybe straight nothing, and then use that money to bump up elsewhere. For me though, I'd probably look at just trying to still get someone who's like a decent scorer each week instead of just a straight enough. So I think there's enough options, like Cherry Evans, Hughes, Fogarty, Adam Reynolds, I think is a pod to consider. I'm really jealous of anyone who's got the duels to go to a 5/8 though, because if you can get someone like a Dewey, a Munster, Burton, Dylan Brown, I feel like they're all better options than the halfbacks. I think there's enough there to consider though. Not a lot though, I'll be frank. There's not a lot there. You're probably looking at Walker, Cherry Evans, Fogarty, Ben Hunt, Adam Reynolds, and not much else, to be honest. I guess there's not a lot there. Averillo is actually halfback 5/8. Now that could be a serious pod. If you are looking to go for Bulldogs, Bulldogs are scoring points. We spoke a lot about Burton this week. Good draw coming home. Cowboys is tough, obviously, but then you got Warriors, Parramatta, Sharks, and Manly. Look, someone like an Averillo could be a pod that you want to consider. Maybe if you want to go really cheap, like a lot cheaper there, and then use that money to upgrade elsewhere. I don't think that's a bad ploy. Instead of say going straight for looking for an equivalent reserve halfback player. So I don't mind what you've thrown up there in terms of going with a cheaper option. It's something we'll have to think about. He does have halfback 5/8 dual status as well. So Averillo could also be someone that you rotate nicely with, say, Ezra Mam, if you held on to Ezra Mam this week. I think we'll definitely discuss it a little bit more this week. I'll probably need to give it some extra thought. But first thoughts is, not a lot of great halfback options are there. How much cash is Cleary losing? Rennie, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not really good on this side of the numbers in terms of how much they lose, but I'll say a lot. 120 break even and only scored 4. It wouldn't surprise me if he's in the low 700s, if not even, like in say 700 flat. Going to abuse duels this week to move Cleary to Tarpany. Now that is something I do like. I do like getting Tarpany if you haven't got him. And you've got duel to do that. Yeah, I'm pretty jealous of that. Tarpany or Dewey? Oh wow, okay. I feel like Tarpany is just like insane. I know Dewey's done really well the last couple of weeks, but Tarpany is just a monster, isn't he? 113 points and he got sin bin. Like, what a joke. Absolute joke. That's a tough one. Tarpany or Dewey? Tigers are playing well. I just like the Raiders run home. Quick look at 5/8s actually. So obviously Dewey killed it this week. How's their run home? Actually, Dewey's got the Knights, and then he's got Sharks, Roosters, Dragons, Raiders. I don't mind going pod Dewey. Newcastle concede a lot of points to spine players, and I'd probably say Tigers can win that match for sure. You captain Nathan, sad, yeah. Pour one out for any Cleary captain. It's just really rough this week. Jacko Hastings done alright since moving to 13. He has, but John, unfortunately, he's out for the season. I think he had a broken tibia from that tackle from Carrigan, which did not look good. And so I think he's out for like a few months. So yeah, Hastings is a non-option, unfortunately. He would have been a good option though. Will Tarpany get suspended throwing a punch? I'd be shocked if Tarpany got suspended. I feel like even the punishment was enough to get a sin bin for swinging arms. So I don't think he will be getting suspended, in my opinion. I haven't seen anything to suggest that he will anyway. Sean O'Sullivan a pod. I did think about this briefly. Obviously, you're sticking with the Panthers player. The only thing is that if he's not goal kicking, it's not ideal, and their draw is not easy. Raiders, Melbourne, Souths, Warriors, and Cowboys. Now I know Penrith are Penrith, but there's no Luai or Cleary. I do think that will hurt them. I know they actually looked really good in the second half though against the Eels. Like real full credit to the Panthers. You know, they could have come into the second half and got smacked, but they really turned up. They actually outplayed Parramatta for most of that second half with one less man as well. So yeah, I think Sean O'Sullivan maybe is an option, but I feel like you're not maybe getting the same Penrith that what we're thinking we'll get. But look, I could be wrong. He could absolutely smash it. And if he continues to goal kick, then that would obviously help him out. Just trying to quickly find him because I filtered for 5/8, of course. Let me quickly change that back. He scored 70. That's pretty good. I think, he scored a try early in the game. Of course, that did help him out. To be fair, his scores are actually pretty decent. I'm just looking at it here. 84, 31, 43, 17, 18, and now a 70. So he has had some good scores, to be fair. Maybe I need to think about him a little bit more. It'll be a massive pod for sure. And yeah, he's actually got some decent scores now looking at it. His season average is 61.6. It's not bad. Latrell or a 5/8 like Brown, Burton, Dewey. I think I'd get Latrell, Sticky Nicky. Just the next two look really good. You've got the Warriors, and then you've also got Parramatta. Parramatta do concede quite a few points to fullbacks. So I do like going with Latrell at this point. I do think Latrell is going to continue to be good. Obviously, his Sharks are one of the best defensive teams in the comp. I think the next two, though, Latrell can do really well. Now, this is a good question from that fat guy. Now that both Penrith halves are gone, are To'o and May likely to be a sell? I would say there is a case to sell them in the sense that we don't think they're going to do that good. But remember, if you look at some, like Taylor May got shifted to centre and Charlie Staines played wing. I don't think that really helped Taylor May. And look, they were playing the whole second half, one man down. And Thunglaw still scored like 70 plus points. He got a line break, a few tackle breaks. So he still did okay. For me, I still think Penrith will be a decent team, and I still think that these guys will be fine. I also just think with such low trades, I feel like it's a bit of a luxury to be trading out guys like To'o, who's a genuine gun, and a Taylor May, Taylor May's definitely gotten off the boil a little bit. I think his last few scores have been a bit lower, but I think now could be a case of hopefully if you've got depth, you can just bench them and then play them on matchup, because I think with people having such low trades, I do feel like it's a bit luxury to be selling them now. So I'm personally still going to be holding, and I think, Cleary showed that we need to deal with that. Once I do that trade, obviously I'm speaking more for my own team now, but I've got 3 trades coming into the next week. One trade will have to be used on Nathan Cleary. Maybe I have to use another one on Nick Meaney if I haven't got enough depth in center wing. And that leaves me with one trade. And I feel like using a trade to do like Taylor May out for maybe like say a Val Holmes. Yes, it's probably an upgrade, but I feel like I want to keep those trades now for these kind of emergency situations, because let's say you have no trades left and you own Nathan Cleary, you're losing out on the 700k sitting in your sideline that you can't switch. The change of doing a non-player for like a good option, and maybe you say Cherry Evans, who maybe averages, call it 70 for the run home, versus Taylor May, who might go 55, 60, to Holmes, who might go 70, 75. Yes, you're getting a 15-point average better, but going from a non-player to Cherry Evans is like a 70-plus difference. The swing, I think, with being able to deal with those emergencies will be really valuable. We've already seen the carnage, lots of injuries happening as well. So for me, that was a very long answer, but I think if you've got enough trades, say 5+, I think there's a case for it, but I think majority of people are probably just going to have to hold with them. is Nanai and in. Yeah, Nanai is absolutely killing it, isn't he? He's going to be quite expensive. He's going to be pretty expensive because I think he was 620k coming into this week, and he scored 135. I want to say 140. Goodness me. Yeah, he's on fire. 3 line, like we know he needs the attacking stats. He's not quite got the base stats, but he's getting them. 2 tries, try assist, 3 line breaks, 6 tackle breaks, a line break assist, 4 offloads. Jesus, lots of points there for Nanai. We know the draw is really good as well for the Cowboys. So next week they've got a tougher match. I think they've got the Bulldogs, which is not obviously going to be easy, but Roosters and then Warriors. Yeah, decent matchups there, I think, for Nanai. I think his base stats have actually increased a little bit in the last few weeks. I'll quickly double check that. So if I go to Nanai. Yeah, so if you look at, say, the beginning of the season, his base was around the kind of the high 20s to low 30s. But since around 11, he's really stepped it up. 43, 56, 40, 34, a bit of a down week, but then 48 last week. And I'd be interested to see what he got this week. I guess, I can have a quick look at it here. He scored 19 points in tackles. His base power is great, obviously, because of his tackle breaking ability. But he scored 12 plus 6, 18 plus 20, 38. He scored about 37 in pure base. Call it 36 with the missed tackle. So, yeah, not as one of his higher base point games, but okay. I don't know how I'm going to get to him, though. He's so expensive, right? He'll be really expensive. I think if you can afford him, great, but he will be expensive. Cleary to Murray. What does everyone reckon? I don't mind that. If you've got the duels to do Cleary to Murray, Murray scored, I think, about 83 points. Busy as ever. Look, 45 tackles, 6 offloads. I see the next 2 games, I think, will be really good for Murray, and he'll just be a really solid, 70, 75 plus averaging guy for the run home. So I don't mind that, and he's at a good price as well, 586k. Did Elliott get injured? Yeah, he picked up a knock, I think, either late in the first half or early second half. So I think his minutes got a bit capped. But he was on for a good score as well at the time. Let's see, next questions. Let's see. Hey, random question. How do you see the top players traded in and out? So the way that you see it is if you go to the players tab, and what you do is you go players, and then now you need to have SC Plus, I believe, to be able to see the top trade ins and outs. I have it just because obviously it helps out with my putting stats together and everything. And then if you go to the right hand side here, you see most popular trades live, and obviously this will be reflecting round 20 because we're not in lockout yet. So you got your traded outs, so you've got your top 10 traded outs, and then your top 10 trade ins. That's where you see it. You can also actually see even further than that if you look here, SuperCoach Plus. If you look at I believe it's in Coach's Choice, and then you go to round ownership change. This basically tells you the same thing. So yeah, Teddy was the number 1 most traded in player, and then etc. And then you can see actually who's outside of the top 10 in this list as well. Does Manly have a good run home? Yeah, they've got a not bad run home. Let me just have a quick look at their draw. So I believe they've got what am I doing? Sorry. Let's have a quick look here. Yeah, so we've got Parramatta next week at home, which is not bad. Parramatta, honestly, who knows what Parramatta team you're going to get. Then the Titans, which is obviously a good matchup. Sharks will be tough. Raiders away will be tough. And then you've got the Bulldogs, which is, look, at the time, it's not looking easy either. So I'd say on face value, the draw looks okay, but when you look at each matchup, it doesn't look as easy as you think. So yeah, maybe Cherry Evans isn't the answer. It's really tough actually with these halfbacks. Who do you go for? Okay, Moz is saying Elliott's okay. I think on the Matty John show, he just said he wanted to rest. Okay, fair enough. There you go. Sandy saying thanks for the tip last week for Yo to Murray. Oh, not a problem. Yeah, look, Isaiah Yo, really solid option, but hasn't really got too much of a ceiling on him. Yeah, 48 this week. I think, yeah, Murray's just a much better Supercoach option. He's just got a bit more attack in him, a few more offloads as well. So no problems on that tip. When's head-to-head finals? My mate said it starts next week. Yeah, it does start next week. So head comps, the finals begin next round. And so they occur rounds 21, 22, 23, and 24. So what they did this season was they they brought forward the final series for head-to-head 1 week in advance, because what they were seeing was in round 25, which would be the grand final for your head-to-head, that's when you'd have a lot of mass changes in Teamless Tuesday. Like, a lot of players were getting rested in the week prior to the finals, and so it was really affecting their head-to-head competition for SC. So they pushed it all ahead by a week. So yeah, it starts from next week. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing next week. I mean, obviously Cleary will be traded out. So I'll quickly show you my team here. In hindsight, it would have been nice to have played McInnes over Mulatalo, but look, Mulatalo still scored a try. Even Garrick would have been nice. It would have been nice to play Garrick over Taylor May. A little bit frustrating, obviously, the fact that Cleary got sent off, so it kind of killed Penrith. But look, I'm happy enough with Drinkwater, Teddy. I will take that for sure. But yeah, look, I think in terms of my team, it'll be Cleary out. I don't really have any duels to switch him to anywhere except halfback. So I'll have to buy a halfback next week. James says, gotta love being the third highest scoring player in my league, but you end up 13. Yeah, that's the beauty of head-to-head. I don't think I think I'm in a similar position where I'm also ranked like overall wise, like outside the top 10, but I think I'm close to the top 10 in head-to-head. Just as how it works. It depends on who you obviously verse each week. Yeah, I don't really know that there's too many other talking points really. I mean, Broncos a bit of a surprise loss to the Tigers, but I'm happy that the Tigers got a win after what happened to them last week. Sharks Rabbitohs game was pretty tight, pretty good affair. The send off for Burgess was a little bit insane in my opinion. Like, I didn't see how that could be a send off. Fine if you want to bin him, but sending off, I was like, really? And then obviously that helps Sharks with the penalty, and then Hines lost the field goal. Titans, yeah, pretty poor again. Fafita not getting any ball as per usual. So I think he updated to about 49 points. So Fafita is being the part of the Fafita that we saw earlier in the season. I'm just hoping that I don't know what I can get from Fafita. Titans just don't know how to use him. It's very frustrating. Hanny says, bro, Burton ruined me. I captained him expecting a 100+ point score. Yeah, look, Bulldogs put on 24 points, so you'd think Burton would have a hand in that. Just didn't quite go through him. Shout out to Jeremy Marshall King. He's been absolutely killing it in the last few weeks. He's been the hooker to get. Don't worry about Harry Grant. 5-round average of 73, and he's come again with an 89 this week. Like, honestly, if you look, since round 11, 88, 66, 74, 38, bit meh, but then 66, 85, 67, 108. He's been killing it, absolutely killing it. He's played really good, and I think that has really helped the Bulldogs as well. Since he started doing well, they've been doing very well too. And also since they have had a change of coach. Cleary to Murray or Cleary to Latrell? I still think I would go with Latrell. I just think he's got the bigger ceiling than Murray. The next 2 weeks, Warriors, I think it's a good matchup where Rabbitohs, if they score a lot of points, Latrell's goal kicking, I can very easily see him going 90, 100 plus next week. And then even Parramatta, Rabbitohs have a pretty good record against Parramatta, and I think, again, fullbacks, I believe they score pretty well against the Eels. Murray will be fine, he won't let you down, but I think Latrell's who I'd go for. I'd just chase the ceiling with that one. Like, if I was in that position, I'd be buying Latrell for sure, I think. Don't force a trade for Cleary, hold until we get confidence. That's fair enough, Matthew. I think I take your point that if you're not sold on anyone, and if you don't have to play your second halfback, I don't mind just holding it. So I can see D. Perry saying it's confirmed that he's out for the year. Yes, he's out for the year, but I get what he's saying, that if you're not convinced by anyone, you don't have to do it this week. He's not changing in price or anything. If you've got enough good depth that you can cover in your 17, I don't think it's a bad idea even just to hold him for a week, and then that gives you another week maybe to reassess instead of forcing it. So I think that's fair. I think that's a fair point, Matthew. I probably need to have a think about that as well. If there's no one I'm keen on, maybe I just save it, because I think next week I probably should be able to field a decent enough 17. Like, Olukwatu will come back next week, so I'll play him. Lane, Crichton and Fafita, I'll probably all play them. So I've already got one reserve in my 2RF. McInnes I'll probably end up playing, just because if he's starting and he's an absolute machine. So he's probably someone else I can play. Dylan Brown and Munster, they're fine to play. And then next week, if I have a quick look at round 21, even if Nick Meaney's out, which will be annoying because he's got the Titans, if Nick Meaney's out, I can play Garrick against Parramatta. I feel fine with that. And then I've still got a dilemma of Mulatalo or Teleme or Tongo. Oh, sorry, I just realised I still have Drinkwater as reserve. Yeah, so I don't have to actually take out Nathan Cleary. My reserves can be Drinkwater, Dylan Brown, Olukwatu, and Cam McInnes, for example. And I think that's fine. Or I can play one of my centre wings instead. Like, maybe I can drop one of the Panthers boys, play Mulatalo or Garrick instead. So I think there is options. I don't think I have to make that trade next week. So, yeah. It could be the pod move, just hold Cleary for another week and then reassess who you want to get in. So I think I've got enough. Hopefully people have got some depth that they can cover if you're not sure who to go for at halfback. Moz is saying Latrell did destroy Parramatta for like 90 Supercoach points on his return back. Yeah, I think, that was obviously his return game and he killed it that week. So yeah, I feel like Latrell will be a good option for this week. Early thoughts in terms of next week. I think without Cleary, it kind of opens up your captaincy a little bit, but I do think that the likes of Nico Hines is probably going to be a really popular captain. Sharks against the Dragons playing at home. I think, Hines captain's probably looking pretty safe, and then I'd probably vice captain your Melbourne players. To be honest, I think I'm already looking at next week thinking VC, Munster, captain Hines. That's probably how I'm going to play it. So yeah, Matthew, don't mind your point about maybe just holding Cleary for a week. He doesn't have to be traded out next week if you've got the depth. Okie dokie. Might just go for like another 5 or 10 minutes, guys. Let me know if you've got any other questions for now at the moment. But I do think it was all about Nathan Cleary. Big shout out to unfortunately anyone who did captain him. That's very, very unfortunate. But yeah, early trade thoughts, maybe even no trades, to be honest. I'm just thinking 1164. So let me just have a quick look. My ranking wise, I'm 2,397, so call it 2,400. I'm just trying to think where I can realistically end up. I mean, getting top 1,000 would be really nice, but it feels like it's a little bit further off. Like if I have a quick look at rankings, I'm not going to scroll down all the way to top 1,000, but from memory, I was about 250 points off top 1,000. So that's about, over 5 weeks? It's about 50 points a week I'd have to make up. So we'll see. I think it would be nice to finish. If I can't finish top 1,000, it'd be nice just to finish as high as I can. So, if that means like say 1,200, 1,500, I'll be happy enough with that. Especially because I've actually been really happy. I don't want to jinx it, but I've been really happy with just how my team's kind of progressed. So if I look at the ranking wise, like we did start a bit rough, but rank wise, it's continually crept up. So I had one blip here from round 10, but since round 10, we've had green arrows basically every week. So for 10 weeks in a row, we've had green arrows, which is quite nice. There was a few mistakes earlier in the season. I can't believe I traded in Petahiku. We won't speak about that. And I traded in Talakai just after his monster game where he basically did nothing. But yeah, hopefully we can finish up pretty well. Joey Manu, 900k. What a man. What a Manu, again, should say. Call him out. 101 points. What a Manu. What a man. Manu, the Supercoach GOAT. Yeah, Manu's... What a legend. What a legend. No poem for him this week. I didn't even come up with a full poem for him when he scored 191. The poem was basically... Joey Manu, number 6 or number 1, it doesn't matter. He just gets the job done. And in round 20, he's finished on 101. And if you own him, it's a whole lot of fun. Because he is an absolute gun. There you go. There's your Supercoach poem for Manu. A little bit belated, but look, he's got his poem now. Run home centre wings apart from Manu. I love all the Manu chat. Run home centre wings. I still think Garrick will be up there. He scored 47 this week when his team did really not that much. That game was a bit of a dud game though, to be honest. The second half was just, I have so many errors. It was a bit of a dud watch. So I think Garrick will be up there. Manu, obviously. Now, Brian To'o, I don't think is actually going to be as good of an option now. I was really keen on To'o this week. Eels historically do concede a lot of points to right wingers, but obviously without Cleary, just kind of muck things up for the Panthers. So I think Val Holmes is probably going to be up there. I think he scored 80 something points again today. So he's had a good 2 weeks since people have brought him in. Yeah, 84 points. He set up Drinkwater's second try. So yeah, Val Holmes I'd say is definitely in the top 4. Mulatalo has had a few down weeks, but I do still see a Sharks centre winger doing very well. Just have a quick look at their draw. It really opens up now for the Sharks players. So you've got Dragons, Tigers, Manly, Bulldogs, Knights. So it's a great run home. So I do think that the likes of Jesse Ramian, Mulatalo, Connor Tracy. I know Matthew on Twitter. I think Matthew, is this the same one in the chat? I'm not sure. He mentioned Connor Tracy as a bit of a pod. He scored a try this week. He's a very good handy player, 59 points. So maybe him as a consideration. Run home, centre wing, not sure, but you get my gist. Probably a Sharks player I think will do well. It's a bit hard. Adam Dewey could be there. Honestly, Adam Dewey looked really good the last 2 weeks. If you can get him in your centre wing, definitely grounds, I think, for him to be a run home guy as well. I still have some faith as well in the likes of Taylor Mayo-Thungo as good holds. But yeah, those are some initial names at the moment. Yeah, I think Val Holmes, though, is probably the one where I think people may not have bought yet, and I probably think he's a really good one to get if you can. Anyway, for you to get Tarpany in, Canberra, nice draw. Well, look, the way that I can get Tarpany in, if I wanted to get Tarpany in next week, it would be Cleary down to a cheap enough halfback so that I've got enough money to go Max King up to Tarpany. But it would probably be like Cleary down to like Avarillo levels, your 400Ks to free up like 250K to get Max King up there. So I'm not sure if I'll do that. Like that's essentially burning 2 trades to get Tarpany. At this point, I'm not sure if the 2 trades is worth it. To be honest, it probably is the way that he's going. But we'll see. That's one option I think of getting to Tarpany. Would you trade Cleary out for Mario Latrell? I think I answered this one already. I definitely would go Latrell, in my opinion. No, different Matthew won't take credit. Okay, there you go. Rods is saying your rank is 9999. Well, that's an auspicious number. Rappers Eminem is too scared to rap battle with, mate. Don't even try to get me into a rap battle conversation with Eminem. I'll get destroyed. How long will McInnes start for? So I think he will start at least next week as well. Because I expect while Finucane's out suspended, McInnes will start. If McInnes does that while starting, and look, I think McInnes should have been given a try assist as well for Fafita. He offloaded. If you add that try assist and a line break assist, you're looking at 109 points. I'm pretty surprised he didn't get that. He may get that on further review, but I am surprised he didn't get that. Although I'll quickly check that he didn't, just so I don't look like an idiot. Let's have a quick look here. He didn't. 48 tackles on insane. 48 tackles, 25 points in runs. Like, man is a machine. He was offloading a few more times as well this week. So yeah, McInnes I think could be a very handy play for me next week. So maybe that's what I do. Play McInnes next week. Week after I deal with Cleary. Who knows? Okay, we'll give it another minute or two, and then we might wrap up the stream there. I think there's a few questions starting to die down a little bit. There's a few questions about obviously some centre wings and Cleary, which I think we've had some initial discussions about, but we'll definitely have to give it some more thought. And yeah, we'll have to figure out the options, the best options. Will I do another stream this week? Yeah, I'll probably do. If I can't do a stream, I'll probably do a video. But yeah, we'll do the usual content this week, either on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. McInnes robbed. I'm pretty surprised that he didn't get it, to be honest. I think there was definitely enough there for him to be able to warrant a try assist. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not one to normally complain about scoring too much. I just feel like it's just a waste of energy because I can't do anything about it. But I'm surprised I didn't get anything for that one. All right, we'll probably just end the stream there. I think thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you had a good Sunday evening and a good week of footy. Not as many controversies as last week, but still some controversies with Nelson Asafa-Solomona not getting punished, I think, at all. So yeah, not great. We'll finish up on this question from Matthew, which is Dewey or Holmes for cooler. I still think I'd go Holmes. I just think that slightly better draw. I think he'll be a little bit safer. He will be a lot more expensive though, to be fair. So I think it depends if you want the pod, but I think my initial thought is still Holmes. I think Holmes is I've got more confidence in saying that he'll be a run home guy compared to say a Dewey. But Dewey's a gun. We saw him from last season. He is a gun. But I think I'd still take Holmes in that. But obviously noting that there's probably going to be a big difference in cash there. All right. Going to end the stream there. Going to have some dinner. I think someone did ask me what's for dinner. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know on Twitter afterwards what I have for dinner. I think I'm just having some lentils. Pretty safe, standard Indian food. All right, we're going to end the stream there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Give the stream a like as well if you guys did enjoy it. Really helps the channel out. And just a quick thank you as well for everyone tuning in on this Sunday evening. And thank you as well to any new members on the channel as well. Really do appreciate their support. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you all in the next one.